He's taking a walk. He's not gone?
You came here to watch Phil Hellmuth and the most unforgettable bad beats of his career. Get ready to witness some of his most iconic moments, blow-ups, and just brutal bad beats. Let's go.
Oh, you lied.
Of course I lied. It's poker, Phil.
We're here at the big game, and this is an iconic clip. We start off with Hellmuth raising a 2000 with 10-8 offsuit. Harlow with 9-8 offsuit makes the call, and we're going to the flop heads up.
Wow, you guys are just having it out.
Phil's got the cannon dominated.
The flop, ace-8-8 could be real trouble for Russ Harlow.
Both players just flop trips. Hellmuth with the best hand goes for a c-bet of $3,000. Harlow, thinking he's best and more than likely up against an ace, goes for the raise to $10,000. The pot is now $18,000, and let's see what Hellmuth does.
Russ raises to $10,000.
Russ is playing it right. This is just unlucky.
Hollywood Hellmuth taking his time. Re-raises to $20,000.
This is a third bet on the flop. Russ might now have to consider that he might be beat. Phil's range is either bluff or the nuts, and Russ has already shown a lot of strength for an amateur.
Phil goes for the 4-bet and ups it at $20,000. What would you do? If I was Harlow, at this point, my perspective is, since Hellmuth just 4-bet and also was the pre-flop raiser, he either has ace-king or a better 8 than me. I highly doubt Hellmuth would be 4-betting me on this flop if he had aces or ace-8. He would be hurting his chances of extracting value, and it wouldn't be smart for him to represent so much strength this early on. Let's see how this one plays out.
Phil's range is either bluff or the nuts, and Russ has already shown a lot of strength for an amateur. Just don't see how he can get away from this, though.
I'm all in.
There's the all-in,
I call.
and Phil calls.
You got an 8?
Yeah.
I got a 10 kicker.
A 9 would win it for Russ. Jack or higher would chop it. The turn, a 4.
Russ needs a 9 to win it. A 4, an ace, or some paint will chop it. Let's get it over with.
The river. It's a 9.
Oh my God. Wow. What a bad beat that is.
Hey guys, was that good for the game?
I thought about it. I think that might have been good for the game.
Was that good for the game?
What was that? That was like a 15-1 shot coming in. Got lucky there.
Yeah. Nice hand.
We're in LA at the famous Hustler Casino. We got some big names at this table, including Phil Hellmuth, David Friedberg, Alan Keating, Stanley Choi, Stanley Tang, and Chamath. We start off with Phil Hellmuth under the gun, raising at 800 with pocket kings.
Come on, just min-raise it.
Raise it.
Oh my God,
Raise it up to 8.
Keating on the button makes the call with 3-2 suited. Chamath wants to gamble with Hellmuth and makes a call with king 4 suited.
Just folded the one hand. And Stanley with pocket queens. Oh, what a life Hellmuth lives.
Stanley Choi has queens and goes for the 3-bet, making it at 5,200.
Raise it. 5,200.
There's the 3-bet. Just a call from Phil. No 4-bet. Getting the other people out. That's going to bring Keating in, I'm sure it does.
This is such a bad call. It's such a bad call.
Going to the flop 4 ways, and the pot is just under 21,000.
Check.
Check.
And how much is Stanley Choi going to lose here on this hand against Phil Hellmuth?
5,000.
He only started with 50,000. 5,000 in a call.
Heads up.
Choi and Hellmuth both have overpairs, and we're going to the turn heads up.
And the queen on the turn. Oh, we're going to see some steam.
Check.
The pot is now over $30,000. Choi improves to a full house on the turn and checks for deception. Hellmuth checks behind, thinking he's best here, and wants to slow play Choi.
Control. Rivers of 4. Come on, Stanley. Get some value.
The river is a brick, and now Choi is thinking what the perfect bet sizing is to extract as much value as possible. Let's take a look.
That's 21.
All right, 21,000.
Wow. I have a bad feeling you have me, but I have an overpair.
Yep.
Come on, this motherfucking goddamn queen. What's that?
We're here at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas on high stakes poker, and we got an intense hand between Negreanu and Hellmuth. Hellmuth with ace-4 offsuit raises to 3,500, and Negreanu comes in for the min re-raise to 7,000 with ace-10 suited.
Let's do the 7.
And Daniel Negreanu with an ace-10 offsuit doubles it. Makes it 7,000.
Folds all around, and Hellmuth makes the call. We're going to the flop heads up. It's ace-6-10 rainbow.
I already said it.
And Daniel said he bet 10,000 before the flop came down.
Wow.
Phil checked. Daniel said I bet 10,000, and he put the 10,000 in, and he's flopped top 2 pair.
Jeez.
Boy, that's pretty sweet. And Phil's got aces.
This could set Phil off.
Daniel bets big here and goes for $10,000. Hellmuth calls, and the pot is now over 35,000.
And Phil cannot get away from his aces.
I check.
So the Negreanu already bet 10 grand and Hellmuth calls.
The turn brings a deuce of clubs, and not really changing much here. Hellmuth checked in the dark since he's out of position and wants to put pressure on Negreanu. How does Negreanu extract as much value as possible from Hellmuth?
Turn calls a deuce of clubs.
Phil is checked.
And Negreanu bets 25 grand.
25 though.
Negreanu goes huge again, betting 25,000. The pot is now inflated to over $60,000, and Phil just can't get away from this one. What would you do here?
25? Why so much, Daniel?
No professional poker player wants to be bluffed on television. I really believe if this hand were not on television, Phil would throw it away.
All right, Daniel, you got me. I think you have pointed.
Hellmuth calls.
Not only does he call, but he
Plus I'm
tells
screaming.
Daniel basically where he's at. That he's got a weak ace.
River's a 7 of clubs.
Phil gave away his hand.
To be honest, this was just bad from Hellmuth. Not only does he visibly look conflicted with this decision to call Negreanu's $25,000 bet, but he says out loud that he thinks Negreanu has queens, which basically gives up that Hellmuth has an ace. Negreanu has to know exactly where Hellmuth is in the hand and can now value bet perfectly on this river. At this point, Hellmuth has been calling Negreanu down. He honestly believes Daniel has nothing here and just triple barrel bluffing. What would you do in this spot?
Now he checks. He's already told Daniel that he's got aces.
No, stop at 10. Stop at 10.
Daniel is just about as comfortable as he can be.
Yeah.
Just figuring out what the right amount to bet here is. What would Phil possibly call?
40.
And Negreanu feels the right amount's $40,000. Now the pot's over 125 grand.
So Daniel's either bluffing or Daniel's got him.
Hellmuth calls.
Good guy, re-raised me. I didn't think he'd re-raise me with ace 10. Couldn't put him on that hand.
We're on no gamble, no future, and we got a classic Hellmuth blow up. Let's watch this one. We start off with Lin G, who straddles for $200 with King 7 offsuit.
Raise it like torch over here.
Justin Young on the button, min raises to 400 with Queen 4 offsuit, and Hellmuth on the big blind calls with Jack 9 suited. We're going to the flop 3 ways, and it's 4 deuce Jack rainbow.
Phil does flop a jack.
14.
Justin flops a 4. Phil check min raises.
Justin Young with his pair of 4s goes for the C bet of $700. Hellmuth with top pair 3 bets to $1,400. At this point, Justin Young has to know he's beat right now. He's probably put Hellmuth on a jack or possibly a set with pocket 2s.
Torch again.
Justin calls. And turns another 4.
The turn brings a 4, and now things are about to get heated.
Explode after this.
1,700.
Leading for 1,700.
I can't believe Justin isn't just laughing right now. He's doing everything he can to keep it together because he knows.
Oh, and now he min raises.
Yeah.
3,400.
Hellmuth snap calls.
With the board connecting, Hellmuth bets again with 1700 and refuses to slow down. Justin Young is celebrating on the inside and will gladly raise here.
Hellmuth snap calls.
Hellmuth immediately calls, and I'm sure you can guess what's about to happen next.
River's a 5. 11K in the pot. Hellmuth checks.
Free costume she's wearing.
Does Phil
My
really
head is
think
hot and my body
Justin
is
Young
hot.
is bluffing?
God, you have to have me. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
He does.
It is ridiculous.
I guess, all right.
4.
Gets paid off. Uh-oh.
Jack for Phil.
That's it.
So get him all set up. He calls me with bottom pair. Gets paid off like this. Ugh.
Middle pair.
See, people don't understand. People don't understand why I'm whining about this. Like they don't. Like only the great players understand what just happened. Have you all set up and hit every hand? Oh, so.
We're straddling, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So unfair. Why don't we just give guy 4? He just called me with bottom pair.
Double ante is
What the?
He's taking a walk. He's out of it.
It's poker after dark, and we got some big names like Phil Ivey, Phil Hellmuth, Patrick Antonius, Tom Dwan, and Daniel Negreanu. We start off with Ivey raising at 2500 with a6 suited. Hellmuth finds pocket 10s and makes the call.
Yes. Take a little flop.
Patrick Antonius wants in and goes set mining with pocket 4s. And Dwan calls behind with king-queen offsuit.
And Dwan joins the party with king-queen off.
On the flop, we got 10-9-7 two-tone.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that's nasty. That's a triple. Dipple.
Hellmuth flops a set with his 10s, but Ivey has a straight.
A couple things over there in case you didn't notice. It's a triple.
I've already seen the flop last time.
Ivey with the straight and being in a 4-way pot goes for a big bet of $8,000.
5.
Hellmuth thinks he's way ahead and isn't afraid, so he calls. The turn is a brick, changing nothing, and now Ivey can still get another street of value. The pot is now almost $30,000. Ivey goes for another huge bet and puts in $23,000. At this point, no matter what, there's no way Hellmuth can get away from this.
I'm gonna raise. I'm all in.
Call.
He said call. Hold it. Wow.
3.
Hellmuth gets his policy bid rejected.
Well, I finally trapped somebody.
We're in the Poker Go studio at the 2022 US Poker Open. It's a battle between Alex Foxen and Phil Hellmuth. We start off with Foxen under the gun, who opens to 100,000 with Jack 9 suited.
100.
Hellmuth on the button with Ace Jack offsuit goes for the quick call. It's Jack 5-9 two-tone, giving Hellmuth top pair, top kicker, but also giving Foxen 2-pair with his Jack 9. This might be rough for Hellmuth.
Oh, Jack 9-5. Top pair for Hellmuth with top kicker, but it's top 2-pair for Alex Foxen. Fireworks imminent.
Buckle up. We're about to have liftoff.
Foxen will lead.
Remember, Foxen opened under the gun with Jack 9 suited. His hand is extremely disguised, and Hellmuth definitely thinks this board does not connect with Foxen's range. Foxen can easily get value and an auto call from Hellmuth, so he goes for a 33% pot C-bet of 105,000. Hellmuth immediately calls.
535K in the pot. Alex Foxen with a little more than 700K behind. Turn brings the 4 diamonds.
315.
I'm all in.
Call.
The snap all in, the snap call in. Here we go.
He can do it, buddy. What the f? What the f? Jack 9. Ooh.
Still 1 card to come. It is not an ace.
Doesn't say me. Oh my God in heaven. I raise. Come on. Every hand and just flops top 2. Come on.
Foxen about to lose it.
I know. Pretty funny, Alex.
Back on the big game, we got the infamous feud between Tony G and Phil Hellmuth. Let's take a look. Hellmuth in the big blind finds ace-jack offsuit and raises to 6,600.
And it's unopened.
All right, I opened for the pot.
Pots it.
Tony G finds ace-king suited and shoves all in. But listen to this first.
And you looked, right?
Well, I think I looked. Allegedly, I looked.
Tony.
I'm all in.
Pot limit, brah.
Without looking?
Without looking.
Pretty sure he looked.
Well, you can't be.
Tony G just went all in and lied to Hellmuth about not looking. Obviously, Hellmuth thinks he's ahead here with ace-jack. So let's see what happens next.
Tony repots it with ace-king.
All right. You slow down. You slow down a bit. You got to save the rest?
Not if he believes you haven't looked. Hellmuth now facing a raise and an angle shot.
It's hard to believe that you always have a hand against me.
I'm not looking. I haven't looked. I don't care. I know it's a random hand, and I got a random hand.
Did you look at your cards at all? I mean, it's.
Look, the people at home, no, I haven't looked. Joe's looked at my
if
hand.
you haven't looked, it's kind of an easy decision for me here. I guess I'll just move in.
All right.
Phil ships and Tony calls.
All right, you're close. You're up there.
Oh, you lied.
Of course I lied. It's poker, Phil.
It's a jack.
Whoa, you got there.
That's not cool.
No, he didn't.
No. Sorry. I was just joking, Phil. You didn't believe me again.
Taking it back to poker after dark, we start off with Hellmuth under the gun, limping in with 10-9 suited.
Hellmuth limps in with the suited connector.
Oh, 1,500, that's better, yeah.
Baxter raises to 1,600 with pocket kings. La Liberté calls with ace-10 offsuit, and we're going 3 ways to the flop. It's 3-9-3 rainbow.
Hellmuth flops 9s and 3s. Baxter's kings up, way out in front.
Baxter with the overpair and being the pre-flop raiser goes for a huge bet of $4,000. At this point, Hellmuth has to be putting Baxter on ace-king or a big overpair like jacks, queens, kings, or even aces. His chances of having 9s or 10s is low since Hellmuth is blocking those combinations with his hand. Hellmuth having 2-pair here with his 9 should continue, but he should be more cautious. La Liberté doesn't connect on this board at all, and with these bet sizings, I expect him to fold.
Guy lays down to the $4,000 bet. Hellmuth makes the call.
Check it.
He checks in the dark.
Hellmuth makes the call and checks in the dark. To be fair, since Baxter has been the aggressor, it would make no sense for Hellmuth to bet out of position, so we might as well put the pressure back on Baxter right away. The turn brings the 8 of diamonds and changes nothing, and I expect similar action on this turn like we saw on the flop. Baxter has to continue telling the same story like I said.
Baxter bets 8,000 and gets called again.
Seeing check, bet, call is standard in this situation, but let's see how the river plays out.
Pretty safe looking river card for Phil Hellmuth. He checks a 3rd time. And now Baxter bets out 16,000. Hellmuth makes the instant call. Baxter says 2-pair and shows kings up.
And then he slow rolled me. He announced 2 pair. All they did is me over in this game so far. Guy bluffs off all his money, then slow rolls me. He doesn't say kings, he says 2-pair.
Sorry.
And I know it's a guy that didn't mean to slow roll, didn't even know what he's doing.